Yeah, interesting is the word, but it just shows fun.
Fun.
For sure. Some people's fun, but it just shows that there's a lot of things that can be done.
Yeah.
A lot of exploratory things.
So you can have a healthy sex life, a pleasurable sex life. Yeah.
So there it is. Mm-hmm. Like Salt and Pepper said, let's talk about sex.
Yeah.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Cuff with the TheVisionLab podcast, alongside my partner Ryan Mosley, in partnership with Next One Creative. Yo, we are here and we are excited. Something that we have never done before. We are outside of our depths, as you would say. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors that stay locked in and engage with us after every single episode. And so, Mo, who we got on the show today?
Cuff, today's guest is a native of Dallas, Texas. She's a graduate of UNC Greensboro. She is the lead consultant for the location where we are today, the Kinky Red Room, somewhere here in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Please welcome Twila B. Goode to the TheVisionLab podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What up?
Thank you.
What up?
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
This is actually, you may not know this, but this is somewhat of a long time coming. We've been wanting to get with you on because we see your posts, and they're very provocative, to say the least.
They're very erotic.
To say the least. And you know, one of the things that we talk about, obviously, here in the TheVisionLab is that it's about mindset. Mm-hmm. And so, looking at your posts, they obviously are going to get people's attention, especially on the gram. Mm-hmm. Where did you get the confidence to just be yourself, no matter what?
Wow, so when it comes to being a sexologist, I started by doing erotic poetry.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the fact that I could be out there talking about a little bit of fantasy and a lot of reality. And so I would dress the part, and I would have like my collar on and handcuffs and so forth. And people would come up to me after the shows and they would say, I really enjoy what you're doing. It's good to see a person of color expressing themselves in this manner. And I decided to go from there, and it evolved into my business, A Taste of Sex, erotic and intimacy coaching.
All right, so I'm sure people are wondering, how does one become, what qualifies one to be a sex coach?
Or a sexologist.
So, of course, you enjoy sex, but...
that helps.
Yeah, that helps, and so I went to the Dr. Rachel Institute, went online, took the classes, and I did this during COVID, beginning of COVID, during the pandemic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We were all at home, and I decided to just get online, study. And by the end of December of last year, I was finished with classes, had my certification, and here we are.
So I have a two-part question.
Sure.
And please forgive me.
Okay.
What did you do before this?
What did I do before
Yes.
this?
Yes. And I'm going to follow up. You'll understand why I asked.
Like my profession?
Yes. Sorry. I apologize. Yes.
I've always been doing this.
Right.
I was in corporate America.
Okay.
When I was in North Carolina.
Okay.
And transitioned to a different career, which I will not
you're
mention.
good. Understood.
And now this is what I do full time.
Okay.
Full time.
Yes.
Love that.
So the reason I asked that question is, when did you decide to make the change? Right? Like, it wasn't like you went from, in acquisitions and mergers to like, now I'm just going to go to a different position of like the boardroom. Like, you went from whatever you were doing in corporate to a completely different world.
I did. And just talking to women about sex and about healthy sex and what was lacking, and just having these conversations with my girlfriends, when it comes to orgasms, does size really matter? I decided to continue to educate myself, book knowledge, and go from there. And I was like, you know what, I can do this. And then I was like, I'm going to be the black Dr. Ruth.
There it is.
Dr. Ruth.
Yeah.
Dr. Ruth.
So, and for you, it's not just about sex. It's the education.
It's the education piece.
It's being the martyr for sex ed.
Correct, and it's showing women how to feel sexually empowered and having that confidence in the bedroom and outside of the bedroom, because sex is attitude. How you dress, how you walk, how you carry yourself. All of that is considered, in my mind, sexy. And that will carry over into the bedroom. But it all starts here.
So you say attitude, like what's the core of all that? Like, is this something like when you wake up in the morning, or is this something where like, okay, I've gotten up in the morning, I've had my coffee, whatever my little normal starting thing is, and then do you hit a switch? Like, how does that start for you?
For me, I say my affirmations.
Okay.
And I wake up feeling good about myself, confident. It's going to be a great day. I try not to get into that woe is me, depressive state. It's like, no, I'm bad. I'm just turned 45. I have 2 kids.
What?
I look great. And so that's, how it is.
Crack.
Yeah.
So did you ever go through a period where you didn't feel sexy, you didn't feel confident, you didn't feel powered and emboldened?
I did. And that was right after I got divorced.
Okay.
And I was going through like a lot of different emotions, really trying to find myself again. And when I turned 40, I decided, I give 0 fucks. I'm gonna start going out by myself. My kids are getting older. Let me enjoy what it is that I like. And so that's very relatable to women. We lose ourselves in relationships. We wear these different hats. We are mothers, we're daughters, we're wives, girlfriends, and we have no sense of self. So I found my sense of self and tapped into that, sexual energy, all my chakras.
Yes.
And here I am.
And listen, your energy is vibrant. Like I said, we've been watching you from afar, and obviously the poetry was the thing that really caught me, or caught my attention, along with the pictures. Obviously, you
telling the truth. It's all right.
For real. I mean, it catches your attention for sure. You don't see that
every day
every day on Instagram, and so a lot of the things that you're doing are for women. But are there any educational fronts that you're delivering for men?
So that is pretty much my challenge, I will say. Men can, in my opinion, they are somewhat not as articulate or vocal, when it comes to being in a group, but one-on-one, then they'll talk about certain, avenues when it comes to sex. That's just what I've experienced. So when I ask them to be on the show, on my talk show, they are somewhat hesitant or reserved, because it's like everyone now is going to be watching what they're saying.
Right.
When it comes to sex.
Because we're judged by our sexual prowess.
Correct. Yeah.
So
trying to get men involved is...
I think Mo will jump on there.
Oh my God.
And for them to come to my classes too.
Yeah.
Really come to the class and learn with your partner.
So you've got a lot of things that you're, your hands are into. We'll tackle each one of those.
Okay.
But since we're into the kind of the sex therapy, sex coaching, what does that look like from a client's perspective with you?
When they come to the classes?
Right.
When they book you. So you can take us to the entire chain.
Okay.
Like, what are they getting?
They hit you through Instagram and they book you, and then what?
So when they message me, then, I direct them, of course, to my website. They will fill out a form explaining what their sexual goals are. As a sexologist, I'm focused on what your goals and desires are, so we can help you reach that.
Real quick, what kind of goals, climax is the goal, right? Intimacy?
Well, it could be intimacy. It could be, how do I create eroticism in my relationship now? It could be, I'm not having orgasms. Why is that? It could be something like ED, erectile dysfunction. What's going on? It could be my diet. All of this, affects our sex life. So whatever their goal is that they want to reach, they come and see me. And, they fill out this form. I have a consultation. about 30 minutes, and then we follow up with a meeting. And then we just have one-on-one coaching, whatever it is that they want to achieve. And depending on what that is, then I give them homework, and then we follow up, see what happened, what's transpired, and go from there.
What happens if they don't do their homework?
Then they are not using their investment wisely.
Okay.
Because the end game is for them to be sexually satisfied. So why pay and you're not doing what you need to do?
Right. What are some common questions that you get during your classes or in your course?
The biggest one for women is orgasms. My guy seems to get his, I never can get mine. Why is that? That's the biggest question. The other one is riding, how to ride.
Really?
Yes. The other one is fellatio, oral sex. They don't feel comfortable. So those are about the top 3 categories. And anal. That's always the big one, yeah.
Anal is a big one.
Uh-huh.
I imagine that. Now, age bracket wise, are we?
Yes. What
are our age
What do you
brackets
typically see as far as like your target audience, if you will?
So my target audience would be women 35
mature
to maybe 55. I had one young lady, she was in her 60s in my last class.
Really?
Yes, and she wanted to get more familiar with how to ride dick. And so she came.
I'm sure she is.
Well, she didn't. Literally. Well, yeah. See, we were there there.
I caught it.
Yeah.
Before we go to the next subject, Cuff, allow me to say thank you to somebody who supports us from Jump Street. That's Alina Brown, the family of Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge. EB, congrats again on the new location. You, DJ 2 Clean, Devontae, the entire staff there. Thank you guys so much for your support. Visionaries, the address is 1604 North I-35 in Lancaster, Texas. It's right there at 35 in Pleasant Run. If you're anywhere in the southern part of the Metroplex, make sure you hit the Blowing Smoke Cigar Lounge. We promise you'll be taken care of. The Instagram handle is @BlowingSmoke.
It's a nice spot.
It's awesome.
Plug in it,
yeah, absolutely. When they take care of us, we got to take care of them.
I like the new spot.
So we are at at the establishment that you often consult at. Are you allowed to disclose the name?
The Kinky Red Room.
Okay. Found in Dallas.
Yes.
Okay. So what do we have in here? We'll try to do a tour and take some pictures and things like that for our followers. But what can people expect by coming here?
So the Kinky Red Room is what we consider a dungeon. Okay. And so if you are familiar with the terminology in the kink world.
So this is basically 50 Shades of Grey is what you're saying.
Yes.
There it is.
It is. 50 Shades of Grey. And so you walk in, we have the kitchen area, you have a pole in the living room, stripper pole in the living room. You have a sex chair that you can utilize for different positions. You go into one of the rooms, you have your cage that you can place your partner in for electrical play.
And that tripped you out.
Yeah, because you were talking about the currents and stuff, and you call it flogging. I was like, wait a minute.
Yes.
And this is after we've already seen all the tools and stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, how is somebody getting flogged? And then you're like, oh, they send electrical currents through the cage, and I thought, oh, that has to be so interesting.
It's very interesting.
Sheesh.
We might put you in there.
I'm good for this evening. I'm good for this evening.
So stay tuned. So we have the cage for electrical play. We have the spanking bench. We have suspension play. And we have the St. Andrew's cross. And so you put your partner on the cross, restrain them at the wrist and at the ankles, and have fun with them. And then you go into the master bedroom.
Yes.
Where the rest of the magic happens. We have Lucille, which is our mistress of the house.
Lucille scared the shit out of us. We both thought, okay, we're here about to do this interview, and then there's this figure in the room that we were both not prepared for.
Lucille is very, very sexy, very, very voluptuous.
Yep.
And she is, like I said, the mistress of the house, and you can have a good time with Lucille. Yes.
So this is BDSM.
It's part of kink, BDSM, because they're two different,
Okay,
worlds.
break that down.
Yes.
What's the difference?
So you have what's considered the lifestyle. So the LS community, that could be poly, BDSM, kink, swingers.
Time out. You're using all these alphabets. LS. What is that?
Lifestyle.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
So, you would refer to yourself, if you are in the lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
you would have like your name, say on Facebook, and then LS. That lets
okay.
people know that you're part of that
Really?
community. Yes.
Okay.
Not a loan specialist.
No,
Right.
absolutely not. No. And so the lifestyle is like this big umbrella, and then underneath that you have your BDSM, which is bondage, dominance, submissiveness, and sadomasochism. That's like one of the words I can't say. But if you're into pain, that's what that is.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have your kink, like your fetishes. And
Oh,
then
okay.
you
And that's not
have-
really designed to hurt you. It's just more.
So those are people who are
Correct.
like into feet and stuff like that.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you have swingers,
Yep.
you're that swinger couple, kind of self-explanatory, And then you have your poly relationships. So
We've
all of that.
we learned about this. Remember?
Yeah.
Shout out to Erica.
Love for everybody.
Yeah. Right. Shout out to Erica Warren. I don't know what number episode that was. She talked to us about LBGTQIA plus.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't forget that plus.
Yeah.
And it's constantly evolving. By the end of 2022, we'll have all 26 letters in the
Yeah,
alphabet.
all that good stuff.
Yeah,
So-
I would imagine so.
It's first of all, it's an amazing establishment. If you're into this, I definitely recommend you get a hold of Twila, so you can get set up here. But there's a lot of things that go on here. But what's cool that you told me is that once you give a tour, you're gone,
Yes.
and so it's complete privacy.
correct.
And you can let all your inhibitions go and be with your partner, and really dive into that whole world.
Correct. So we have various toys, and we educate you on how to use these toys. Whether you use these toys here, maybe you want to use these at home in your own, personal bedroom and so forth. But we're going to educate you on how to use that, because in this particular role or lifestyle, you have, contracts that you need to, fill out. And this is a conversation that you have with your partner way before you actually have sex. And so it goes over everything, any type of health-related issues. Because if you have high blood pressure, then I don't need to tie you up and restrain you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I have to know this.
Right.
And you have to be very honest, and you have to trust the person that you are with. And so it's a contract that both parties go over. They sign. You create your safe word, and consent. With everything, is all about consent.
Do you see people? You mentioned the word trust.
Correct.
Do you see trust really grow from experiences like this? I can only imagine.
I do. I think with this world, that's the big thing, is trusting the person that you're with. Versus if you aren't even into BDSM, you really don't ask those questions when you're dating. I think a lot of people in this day and age, they ask about, hey, how is your health? When was the last time you went to the doctor? Do I have consent to do, these things with you? I don't think a lot of that is expressed outside of the BDSM lifestyle world.
Wow. And you never really think about that, I guess in a traditional sense.
No.
Exactly.
Outside
In the
of-
vanilla, as they say, vanilla
Yeah.
sex, the vanilla world. I don't think people really take the time to sit down and have that honest and open conversation, with that person.
So you're talking about trust, right? You've been in this for a while now. What happens when that trust is violated, and how does that, when it comes from a business standpoint, right? Like, I mean, obviously you guys have the setup and whatnot, but what happens if someone says, hey, my trust, or not even trust, the contract was violated? Then what? Does that fall back on you guys? Does that go back to the two people who were...
The two people.
Okay.
Yeah, because those two people, both agreed to whatever was written in that contract. And so, it's understood that you don't need to go against that. But, it does happen that takes place between those two parties involved.
So I'm sure there's all kind of waiver forms, things like that people have to sign. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
How much has, I guess I would say, like, how much has sex changed your life? In terms of, like, it's opened up doors into poetry.
Correct.
It's opened up into becoming
It's like a freedom gateway for you.
Yes, it feels so, I would say it's changed my life. I'm more free,
Right.
I I enjoy what I like. I've learned to tap into all of that. And then I've also become more aware of expressing myself to my partner. Whereas before I was kind of reserved, not really saying what I like, what I didn't like, kind of just roll with it. You know, trying to please the guy. But now, I would tell him, nope, this is where your fingers need to be.
Wow.
This is how you need to touch me.
Does it take away from the actual act? Like, you know, I think a lot of people go into the sexual activity thinking that their partner should know their spots and what they like and yada yada. So now you're saying no,
but
guy.
I'm sure you're to the point now.
Now you're saying no, guy. This doesn't go here. You know, it goes here.
Correct.
And so does that kind of mess up the mood?
No, because before we even get to the physical aspect, you know, we have, you know, dated, you know, for quite a while. Now I'm going, well, I don't say quite a while because, you know, I know how I feel. But at any rate, I would have
3 dates at least.
No. But I would have told him what it is that I like sexually. Okay. In my opinion, that needs to be addressed, you know, in the beginning.
Yep.
Because if I'm into anal, for example, and, you know, you aren't, then we need to have a conversation.
Yep.
For example.
Could that be a deal breaker? And not specifically that, but like anything.
It could be, depending on, you know, if that is what really turns you on. And so, you know, when it comes to my profession as a sexologist, I would meet with women and how you talk to your partner, you know, about what you are into. Yeah. And then how should your partner receive that information. Even couples who've been married for 20 years, the sex life changes. You know, what you once liked 10 years ago, you may not like that anymore. And your other partner or your partner may be like, well, you know what, I'm curious. I want to try nipple play. I want to try sensational play or temperature play with hot and cold items.
Electricity.
You know, I'm curious now. Well, after 20 years of marriage, you know, the first thing you don't want your partner to say is, well, where did you learn that from? Who you sleeping with?
Right.
That's not what this is about.
Right.
It's something I might have saw on TV. I'm curious. Now I want to try it out.
But what if one partner wants to go down this path and the other one is not comfortable with that? You know, people move at different speeds.
Correct.
So how do you ultimately blend that together?
So that's where they would come and see me, and we would go over what it is that they both like, and we'll talk about, well, why is it that you don't want to try this, and come to some sort of happy medium, taking baby steps so that everyone involved, you know, has pleasure from sex now.
So this is the Vision Lab. When you first got involved in this business, what was your initial vision for yourself? I just have to ask it, right? Like you made this giant transition from what you were doing in corporate to this completely different world. You seem to be a well thought out person, right? So at some point you had to sit down and say, all right, Twila, this is what you're going to do. What did you, your affirmations, like what did you write down and say, okay, Twila, you're doing this and I'm going to be the best at this, or I'm going to do, like, how did that process go for you?
It's evolved over the course of time because I'm always trying to figure out how I can be the best at what I'm doing. And so my goal now is what I've written down is to travel and have classes and to teach and coach, you know, couples, men, women, on how to have a healthy and very, very good sex life. And that's what I want to do.
Where you are right now, obviously the pace has been pretty rapid for you, right? How much does mindset play into all of this, both as a coach, like does it ever become fatiguing or draining, and then as a participant in activities?
It's fun, you know, because I enjoy it, but, you know, it does take, I have to keep myself grounded. So mentally every day, you know, I'm telling myself I can do this, because like with anything, you get tired. You know, I have my kids I got to, you know, take care of, and they're teenage boys now, so talking to them about sex is always fun.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that was coming. That's in the chamber.
Very interesting.
Believe me, that's in the chamber.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that.
But you know, every day I tell myself I can get out here and do it. I enjoy it. I'm always studying and reading, doing research, and finding out ways I can better my craft, and that just keeps me moving and going.
I'm gonna go ahead.
You have good sex too.
I want you to get that out of the chamber. But let me say thank you to the folks at Class A Vodka. Crystal and Tim, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all your support. We see you working. Ladies and gentlemen, get your hands on a bottle of Class A vodka. The Instagram handle is at Class A Vodka. That's Class A with a K. The slogan is Class in Every Glass. Visionaries, we strongly suggest you get your hands on a bottle of Class A vodka. Crystal and Tim, thank you again for all you guys' support.
So, I'll go ahead and unload the chamber.
Go ahead.
You're a mom of 2 teenage boys.
Yes. One just turned 15 in September, and then my youngest just turned 13 on Friday.
Okay.
Congratulations.
So, happy birthday.
And I have my birthday on Wednesday.
Okay. Turn up for the one time. First of all, take me back to the conversation where you set your boys down and you said, okay, here's what mommy's doing now. How the hell did you formulate your words to tell them this?
So it really didn't, it really wasn't like that at all. They happened to see products come in
wow.
on my, in my business name that says A Taste of Sex.
Oh, wow.
And so they don't call me mom or mommy. They say, mother, what is this? This says a taste of that word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. And they're like, well, what are you doing? And so I said, well, I teach, on sex. Oh, no, gross. Why? I'm like, no, because people need to know. And then a week or so later, they found some dildos in my room, which was in boxes. So that probably scared them to death. And I was like, what are you doing with those? Oh, no. Oh, God. You said you didn't have a boyfriend. Why do you have these condoms? I'm like, guys, I'm educating people. I said, I could come to your school and be a sex educator. Mother, please don't go to my school and do this. Please don't. But, we have this conversation. I say, hey, look, you guys can come and talk to me about whatever it is that's, you're going through. I do have the conversation of telling them, that your body is changing. And it is okay to feel a certain way. It's okay because you're going to wake up with morning wood. That is normal. And so now they are comfortable talking to me and, saying, hey, mother, I was in class and, they just point down. I'm like, your penis. It got hard. So I was like, so did a girl walk by? Like, what happened? No, mother, I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, that's normal. That's okay.
So it means you're alive, son.
That part. But I explained to them that they should not feel ashamed, that they, that it is okay, and that this is what they're going to experience, as they continue to get older. And I think a lot of times when I am doing my classes, one of my classes is to talk to girls about hormones, body changing, because no one actually talks to me about that. And I think within the Black community, we don't have those conversations.
No, well, and I think that a lot of communities, obviously, we only come from the Black community, but it's taboo, right?
Correct.
Especially, on Sundays, you going to church, either with Big Mama or your mom and dad or your mother or whatever. And the Bible says you don't do this before marriage. And so we get that, it's ingrained in us, and so it becomes really a taboo subject to talk about for, prior to marriage, or especially as a teenager. So that's why I'm really curious, as a mother of 2 boys, how that dialogue goes down.
Basically, if they have any questions or, if I was to initiate the conversation, I would simply tell them, your penis is going to have erections. That is normal. And, make sure I tell them proper hygiene. I tell them how to make sure they wash themselves. Because, odor is bad. And and so it's just fun, lighthearted conversation. I don't try to be too serious, because
But you're in a good position, though. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry. But you're in a good position because then when they do get to the age where they're actually going to want to be out there,
correct,
they know they've got a safe, I hate the word, a safe space to speak with somebody who's actually going to give them the real versus them kind of having to fly by the seat of their pants, in reality. So it's actually a cool space that you occupy with them.
And how do you, or what is your expectation, as they get older? I mean, you got a 15-year-old. So we're, depending on where he is, he's knocking on the door.
So, you know what, with that 15-year-old, he's somewhat reserved. It's the 13-year-old.
Okay.
That is like my mini-me, as I call him.
Uh-oh.
So, but so he's the one that recently came to me and said, mother, there's this little girl that I like. Showed me the picture. I was like, okay. He said, so I asked her out. I'm thinking like, okay, so am I taking y'all to get ice cream or what? He's like, no, I asked her to be my girlfriend.
Yeah, we go together.
We go together. Oh,
Don't
okay.
forget,
Okay.
come on, you know.
You mine.
Yeah. So today, he was like, well, Mother, I really want you guys to meet.
He don't know the game yet. He doesn't understand it yet.
So I was like, okay.
He hasn't been corrupted yet.
No.
But so it's still very lighthearted. But the fact of the matter is they can come and talk to me about whatever it is.
Yeah.
And when the time comes, I will show them, hey, look, this is how you properly put on a condom. You need to have them on you.
At all times.
At all times.
Not that there's a hard line in the sand, no pun intended, but like when they become, what is, I guess, the anticipated or expected age for them to be, for you to be relatively okay with them engaging in that type of activity?
Well, I can't say when they marry, but I personally think realistically it'll be by 18, maybe before.
Okay.
I mean, I just don't.
You know what it is.
I just don't see them being 22-year-old virgins.
How as I'm thinking this out,
it could be, but I just don't understand that. Would I want that? That would be fine with me.
Well, the thing I'm thinking about is, you got a 13-year-old telling me I want you to meet her, but how do you think that's gonna go when you meet her parents? And you're like, yeah, by the way, I am a sex coach.
Yeah, not sure. I'll let you know. Part 2. We'll be back, part 2. Yeah, I'll follow up with you on that.
Because, they're going to be looking at him like, okay, this is your son's taking my daughter. And then, and his mom's a sex coach. Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I hadn't even thought about that at all.
Get ready.
But yeah, you're right, though.
Just offer them 50% off.
Exactly. You know what? 'Cause that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to segue. So how long y'all been married?
Yeah.
Segue that around. So how long you and your husband been married?
Yeah.
Y'all need my coaching service?
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
All right, so let's transition. That certainly is a lot of fun, but poetry gives you an opportunity to, get your inner thoughts and feelings out, put it on paper, and then share it with the world. How and when did kind of all this come about?
So, wow, I started doing poetry 4 years ago. What is this, 2021? So probably about 4 years ago. And I was sitting around at my girlfriend's house, and we were halfway tipsy, and so we were talking about bad sex, just bad sex. And so I just off the top of my head came up with this poem called Pillow Dick.
Oh,
and
do you remember it? You still have it?
Look, yeah.
Can you drop some bars?
So, guys, you all have pillow pussy. You have probably encountered pillow pussy. Do y'all not know what that is? Where the girl just lays there on the pillow.
Starfish.
Pillow pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's really pretty, but she's not doing a thing. So I came up with pillow dick. Pillow dick, pillow dick, pillow dick. Why you fucking with my clit? Wasting my time. You so damn fine. And then it goes on from there. But at any rate, he's trash.
God bless him.
That right there is the biggest fear for men, to know
pillow dick.
Well,
no,
like to be the bearer of that. To know that you ain't handling your business
when you think it's trash,
right? And you thinking you out there Jordan, and you really
Craig Hodges.
You're not, and you know what?
You ain't even in the game, bro.
And I took that, and now when I do my classes, and even in my own personal life, I think about that experience and how I did not articulate how it was trash, and he thought it was good. And so,
you to bust his bubble one day.
Now,
no, she didn't.
I didn't.
Oh,
but
okay.
Fast forward, if I encounter something that is just not pleasing to me, I don't let it slide. I articulate now.
Put your whistle on and go
and
coach 'em.
say, no, that's not what I like.
Okay.
My clit is not a DJ booth. Like, you all over the place. It's right there. But, when I am talking to, couples or, classes and so forth, tell this person it's not what you like.
Yeah.
You have to communicate that to them.
Communication is key to everything.
Because I'm not the same partner that he was with. The girl that he was with before, she may have liked that. So don't come using that same playbook on me.
Right.
I'm a whole different woman.
Yeah, well, like I said, had the conversation beforehand.
Exactly.
Had the conversation beforehand.
Like, guys are different, so they need to know what their guy likes.
Yep, for sure, sure. So, the erotic poetry, years ago, 4 years ago, hanging out with your girlfriend, wrote Pillow Dick, and then it transcended or evolved.
Yeah.
And you do poetry all the time. You even got a book out.
I do, and it evolved. I would take my bubble bath and relax and listen to jazz, and so I write to jazz because it's no lyrics. Mm-hmm. So when I write, I create those lyrics to the music or whatever, and just thinking about the fantasies and the reality that, mixed all together, sexual experiences, and then just come out on paper. And then, so like the book that you mentioned is A Taste of Twila, Poetry and Pictures, and so it's 20 erotic poems and 20 erotic pictures.
And where can people find the book?
So they can find it on my website at twilabgoode.com.
That's TWILAB as in boy, GOODE.
Correct.
.com.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think we're at a good spot too, Mo. Why don't you drop your social media handles as well as how folks can get a hold of you if they want to get to the Red Kinky Room?
Okay, so you can contact me on all social media. My Instagram is twilab.good.
With an E?
Yes, with an E. Facebook, my page is A Taste of Twila A Taste of Twila Intimacy and Erotic Coaching. And you can also, of course, get on my website, twilabgoode.com. I do have lingerie that is sold on Walmart, Be Good and More.
Oh, wow.
So check out, thanks. So check out the lingerie on there. And I will have a store on Shopify where I can sell my toys, as well as my website. So I'm kind of all over the place.
I actually do remember that. That's awesome. So this is really just opened up into a whole different bunches of avenues for you.
Yes.
Talk to us about the lingerie line. What can we expect? Because I've seen you post.
You wouldn't trust a chef who don't eat his own food.
Man, yeah.
So the lingerie line, it caters to all sizes, curves, all that good stuff. And it is, like I said, on Walmart, Be Good and More. And you can order it there. And I have very kinky items. On my website, I have more of the BDSM items and toys and so forth.
Yeah, we don't want to see Walmart carrying
No,
that.
they're not. They don't have a category for that. They have a category for toys, but it's not adult toys.
No, it's not the toys we think about.
No, not at all. It's not going to be the the vibrating panties on there. No.
So, I would be remiss if we obviously what bound us together was the leaf.
The sexologist who smokes sticks.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was funny knowing that we had the interview tonight. I pulled out the fat bottom Betty because I felt it would be appropriate.
Oh wow, okay.
And
pun intended.
My partner did the same thing, probably unknowingly though.
Well, no, it was unknowingly, but we put a lot of work in this year, and we took a quick little respite, as you call it. And I thought, why not just go back to Old Faithful? Never lets us down. Kudos to you for introducing these to me. Almost 2 years ago now. And, it just never lets it down. Shout out to Ryan Rayford and the folks at Drew Estate.
Wow. Well, I'm smoking No Name. I discovered this piece at the cigar place.
Cigar Palace.
Cigar Palace, sorry. Yeah. Cigar Palace. And I like it. It's a Connecticut. It's very light. And, yeah, I like it.
Which, by the way, while you're up there, Cigar Palace, and Yvette, we love you. Beautiful, beautiful establishment. Y'all stay tuned for more because we got Cigar Palace coming on the show very, very soon.
Oh, cool.
But you rocked it at the Poetry Slam poetry event. It was amazing. Why?
I'm always nervous. I'm nervous now.
Why?
I don't know. It's like,
no, you crushed it. Do you memorize your poetry?
So I do. But, my mind is all over the place at times, so I forget some words. I just kind of ad-lib, free flow with it. But sometimes I forget some pieces, but I really like to at least memorize it. When I actually articulate and perform, I'm very, I'm not theatrical with it. Mm-hmm. Other poets are like that, which is great. That's just not me.
Yeah.
I'm just like, let me get up here, say what I need to say, be sexy, and then sit down.
That's it.
That's it.
Will you be performing any more throughout 2021?
I might.
Okay.
I'll let you guys know so you can come out. But Right now, I'm not sure. I know that I will be actually have a speaking event Saturday talking about self-care after sexual trauma. Then I will be in New York the 11th through the 13th. So we will be in Brooklyn, actually. So if you guys can come out to New York, that would be great to come hear me speak. And then I'll have 2 more classes here at the Kinky Red Room, and then my calendar, that is what I'm working on for next year to travel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Before we wrap things up, Cuff, allow me to say thank you to one other group who takes care of us. That's the good folks at Dallas Leaf LLC. Ron, Sheree, Dave the Bean Counter, the entire Army. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, give the good folks at Dallas Leaf LLC not only for cigars, for entertainment, charity events, whatever it is you're looking for, make sure you get the good folks at Dallas Leaf LLC. The Instagram handle is at Dallas Leaf LLC. The website is dallasleafllc.com. So, as we land the plane, it's come that time.
Yes, sir.
This segment is brought to you by the good folks at Grand Brûlot Cognac. Thank you to Francisco, the owner, the entire staff there, Jameson, the Lovers team, everyone who's involved in this partnership. We appreciate it. It's been one heck of a first year with you guys. Thank you so much. Twila, your glass, please.
Oh, my glass.
Here you go.
Oh, okay.
Boom.
Cognac.
So
anything you've ever had, though.
We're gonna have a little fun.
Nice and easy.
You're more than welcome to have more. We're just gonna just sip on it, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
Don't shoot it.
Oh, okay. Thanks
But let's
for
have a
telling me.
little fun, and I know that you have some fun items maybe along with you.
Yes.
So why don't you talk about that?
Well, okay. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Let's
Okay.
let's take a quick toast
Okay.
in honor of Grand Brûlot
Yeah.
Okay.
to what do we want to toast to?
Oh, to good sex.
Amen.
Oh. Ooh. This is yummy.
So, unlike anything
That's
you've
my
ever had.
yummy face.
Okay.
It's yummy. Very, very smooth. I like that.
All right. So what you got?
So, this is my Goode E bag.
I like how you did that.
Yeah, see that?
I like how you did
So,
that.
this is my fun goodie bag that I take when I am out. And
Never
you guys,
know when you're gonna need it.
Absolutely. And you guys probably have no idea what's in here.
No, we
but
don't. I'm about to be shocked, I'm sure.
This is my pillow pussy.
Okay.
And
Now we don't want pillow pussies though. Remember?
well, no, this is to show where the clit is
Okay.
and where your fingers need to be.
Oh,
or
okay.
tongue.
This is an educational
Exactly.
educational instrument.
Okay.
The labia lips.
So let's learn this real quick.
So this is the labia lips. And then you open this up and the vagina would be here. Pearl tongue.
Okay.
The clit is there. So, pop quiz. How many nerve endings are on the clit? And if you cannot get it right, you got to drink.
There's a whole bunch of them.
It
Yeah,
is.
It's like
Yeah, it's-
millions.
yeah.
It's not
upon
millions. No, sir.
It's
1,000.
Well, it's
No.
the right ones. How about
10,000.
that?
10,000.
You're close.
15,
No.
12,
11. 9,000. 8,000.
8.
Hey,
8,000
You
nerves
gotta drink.
the
on
right
the
ones.
clit.
The right ones.
Drink,
anyway.
star. You said a bunch. You said a million. No.
I actually knew it was a lot, but I didn't know 8,000.
So 8,000 nerve endings are on the clit, guys.
No wonder y'all don't know where how to be happy.
No, because you need to know where to find it.
Oh, I found it.
You need to know, like, where to find it and find the right nerve to get on. So this is my pillow
Out
pussy.
of 8,000, you got to get on the right nerve.
Yeah, you do.
Thread the needle.
And know how to touch it the right way, okay?
Okay.
Don't be hard and rough with it. And this is what
Oh.
the actual clit looks like. So this is the outer.
Right.
This is the inner.
Okay.
Okay.
So what you guys see is that little tip part.
Yep.
This would be the outer of the clit. And these are the balls of the vestibule. So it's like how you guys have balls. This is all of the clitoris that is inside of us. Okay? But you guys just see this part. But all of this is the clitoris that helps make for a great orgasm. So when you're hitting that G-spot, this is what you want to actually hit. So you can actually give her an orgasm from the clit and then the G-spot that is up here further back up the belly. Okay? So that's why if you notice how dildos have that curve
Yep.
and it has those two little come hither
Yeah.
bunny fingers,
Right,
bunny
right,
rabbits, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that is. So the little ears, bunny rabbit ears, is to hit the clit. And that curve on the dick is to get up here to get the G-spot. And therefore she can have 2 orgasms basically from her clit and from her G-spot. And then you can also flip it over and she can have an anal orgasm as well because of the female prostrate, just like guys.
Yeah.
So for guys that enjoy pegging,
Yep.
that
Or
is-
milking.
Yes, and that is why, because of the way the anatomy is set up.
Right.
Does not mean you are gay. It just means how your anatomy is set up. So, fun fact there. And then I always bring, so when I'm demonstrating the class that I had on how to suck dick,
Yes. Okay.
All right.
so I have my 2 friends. Yeah, and these are great because they're suction. And so you can have fun with these. And so I talked about the anatomy of the penis and how far you can go. How to get over gag reflex. You know, you can do that. And how to, pay attention to the balls, because they're there for a reason. So you don't want to... You don't want to forget about them.
Don't forget to cut the balls.
Hey, the balls are gentle.
Cut the balls, baby.
Yeah. And they're sensitive. So you got to get the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it talks about the head, the shaft, all of this. Where to suck, how to suck. Ladies, no teeth.
One
no
more time.
teeth.
Rewind.
Yes. And I also talked about, when it came to riding, how you can ride, depending on the guy's size.
Okay.
Yeah. Because every guy's built differently. And so, I have my sperm here. My stress reliever sperm.
Okay.
I got this as a birthday gift, so he's pretty cool.
Now, what's that? I mean...
It's just stress relief.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm stressed out. I'm just holding on the sperm.
Let it go.
Which segues into this, or actually, no, it doesn't. But when it comes to black-owned companies, can I give these guys a shout-out?
By all means.
Please.
So, guys, this is B Condoms. We are working together, and they are based out of Atlanta. They are a black-owned condom company, and they are odorless. And I love it because, if you try those other condoms, why does sex smell like AutoZone? It stinks.
He said AutoZone.
Yes, it smells like you've been changing oil. And so these are odorless, and they're great. And
When did they come out?
A few years ago.
Yeah, there's...
But you can follow them on IG,
No
B
need.
Condoms. So my slogan with them is "Be good with B Condoms." So
No,
please,
they need to
support
go
them.
ahead and sponsor you.
And they're sold at Walmart.
Yeah, you need to get a partnership with them.
Yes. So when you get my business cards, I always have these on the back. And last but not least, when I'm talking about head, my motto is head should be good and messy. And so
wow.
this is my Give Good Head
Oh,
bib.
A bib.
It's a bib, yes sir. My I can encourage women to swallow because it's full of nutrients if the man is eating properly. If you're eating trash all day, then it's gonna be funky spunk. And no woman wants funky spunk. Yes.
Okay.
So please make sure, men, you eat your
Pineapples.
nuts. Nuts are good for your nuts. Your omega-3 fatty acids, all of that is really good protein for how you taste. So remember, sex shouldn't leave a bad taste in your mouth, and head should be good and messy. So, she's on her knees, she swallowed, but maybe she has some drizzle, and she just wipes it off. And she can greet you at the door with this on. So imagine coming home, she's on all 4, and she has this on, and she's ready to give you head.
Interesting. Interesting.
And this, you can order this from me too.
Yeah.
And-
That right there would be nice.
Yes. And then my last little surprise that I have, because
You have another thing in the goodie bag.
It's full of good.
This is my necklace.
Okay.
And so can you guys guess what this is?
It's a whistle.
Yep.
No.
It's a dog whistle.
No.
No, what is it?
It's a vibrator.
It's a vibrator.
Oh, okay.
So, you can order this, if I'm out and about, I'm feeling frisky. Here's my vibrator. And I
Okay.
can just please myself.
You
Just take it off and it vibrates.
just look to the left, look to the right.
I just got this. It's new. So you can feel it if
Yeah.
you like.
There it is.
Yeah. And I can set it to different speeds.
So if you just want to duck off real quick,
Yeah. Very discreet.
5 minutes in and out.
See? That's pulsating. Yeah.
You're excited about that.
Yeah. Guess I'll keep it going.
Well, Twila, let me tell you something. That has to be the most fun segment I think we've ever done.
Absolutely.
He's over there laughing.
Shout out to Adam behind the camera.
Yeah. If you want to order one of these.
Yeah.
It is you, and there is a round table, and there are 5 other seats at this table.
Let me concentrate.
Yeah. Who do you want at your table? They can be dead or alive. The only stipulation is that you can't have whatever religious deity you believe in.
So I have to choose 5 people?
5 people.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. And this could be anybody?
Any man, woman, boy, girl.
This can't be whoever you believe in religiously. Outside of that,
Okay.
table's open.
Idris Elba, Tracy Ellis Ross.
That's 2 that we haven't had.
Correct.
Angela Bassett
3.
and Andre Moore. And
Who is Andre Moore?
is this supposed to be like celebrities or common people?
anybody,
Oh
common
yeah.
people.
Andre Moore.
Who is he?
Andre Moore's his name.
Oh, okay. We'll leave it there.
And who else? You know what? Dr. Ruth.
It'll be a very interesting table.
I would like to have Dr. Ruth on here.
It's a very
So I get
interesting
5.
table.
That's
Yeah,
it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
3, 4 we've never, well, all 5.
Yeah.
we've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
All 5
Good
we've
table.
heard.
Yeah.
So, what's the long-term vision for one Twila Be Good?
You know, long term, if I could be, not if I could, but I will be.
When?
When? You know what? I'm going to say in 4 years, I'll be the sexologist to the stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't
Give me
forget
4
about
years.
us little people, huh?
Yeah.
Okay?
I won't.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, in case you didn't know, we have a magical time machine here in the VisionLab.
Okay.
What advice will Twila be giving herself from 5 years ago?
Oh. What advice would I give myself?
You're 40.
I would say to not be discouraged and not give up.
Okay.
Have good sex.
Amen. All right, now let's fast forward the clock 5 years from now.
Okay.
So you just hit 50.
Yeah, and I'm a millionaire.
By the way,
Come on now.
when I tell
gotta
you-
give her.
I'm writing that down.
Oh, hey.
At 50, I will be a millionaire.
We are in agreement. I got my own
Yeah.
plan, my own little 5-year
Yes.
plan, and I'm working the hell out of it.
Yes.
45. You do an amazing job of keeping up with yourself. Thank you for that.
Thanks.
So you're 50 at this point. What advice is the 50-year-old version of Twila? What advice is she giving you today?
Oh, wow. That is a good one. I like that. So she is telling me to, really, she's telling me just to keep going, keep pushing, keep, reaching and, just marketing myself and to have good sex.
There it is.
That's what she's telling me.
There it is.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a show.
Absolutely.
What a show. Definitely deeper waters than we've ever been in, but I think we had a ton of fun.
Deeper waters.
Yes. Yes.
Pun
I was going somewhere with
Yeah,
that.
I know where you. Yeah,
I'm right
and
there.
there
all
you
day.
go. There you
Has
go,
to
right
stay
there.
wet.
Yeah.
Can't be dry.
Amen. So big shout out to our guest, Twila Be Good. Remember, visionaries, each one of our guests are dropping nuggets of wisdom here on the Trail of Life. Ultimately, my friends, it's up to you to pick them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Mosley. He is Ryan Cuffey. Thank you again, Twila, for
Thank
being our
you.
guest. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you taking the time to
Thank
talk
you.
with us. We will see y'all next week. Another great episode of the Vision Lab podcast.
Blessings.